and welcome to another assignment in HCI. In today's assignment, we're going to try to recreate the Instagram logo. This is what we want to achieve, and um, all the specifications for the assignments will be left in the assignment document, and you can also use this video to help you. So the first thing you have to make sure to do is to make sure that you are in the Instagram logo project. So in the CSC 206 HCI team, make sure that you are inside the Instagram logo project. In the Instagram logo project, what you have to do is create a new design file. So once your file has been created, make sure you rename the file to your name, like so. Once your file has been renamed, the first thing you have to do is to draw a frame. So you come up to the frame tool, you select and you draw. Now the frame needs to be 600 pixels by 600 pixels, but if you can't get it immediately, you have to just come to the right panel and type on width 600 and height 600. Once you have your frame with the 600 by 600 pixels, the next thing is to draw a rectangle inside that frame. So you come to the shape tool, select a rectangle, and you draw. The rectangle should be 260 pixels by 260 pixels. Now if you don't get it on the first try, that's alright. You just come to the right hand side and you type in 260 by 260. Once you've done that, you center that. You should also change the border radius, that's the corner radius, to 50. Now once you have this rounded shape, the next thing to do is to edit the fill, that is the color. So you scroll down the right hand side panel, you come to fill, you select fill, you go up to the top here where you see solid. On the drop down you select linear. Now because you see the Instagram logo has a variety of colors, you need to be able to use a gradient. So to add gradient, in the assignment file you would see the color palette, so different colors that you can use to achieve the Instagram logo. So we'll copy the first color here. This is the hex number. You select this box, this square here, and then you come down to hex and you paste that. You do that for the second color. You copy it, you select the second square, and then you paste the hex number. Now if you have something like this, that's fine. What happens here is that the second color is transparent, so you just come down here to the slider and set it to the far end. Once you've done this, congratulations. So the next thing to do is to change the orientation of this gradient. So to do that, you set your mouse over this tiny circle and you drag. So I'm going to arrange this in a way so that I'll be fine with it. So once you're good with what you should have something like this. So once you are comfortable with what you have here, you select the rectangle. Now you Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl V to paste. On your left hand side panel, you should now see you have two rectangles. So to be able to achieve this, we need to duplicate the rectangle. Now you select rectangle 2, you come down to the fill, and then you edit the gradient. So you select on this blue box, you come to your color palette, copy the hex number, you come here and you paste the hex number. You do the same thing for the second color, copy the hex number, you select the square, this is this square here, and you paste the hex number. With this, what you have to do now is you rotate to get this kind of orientation. Don't be scared, you soon see your end results. Now you slide this down a bit, and when you hover, you see that if you hover your mouse, you would see this other square pop up. This square means you can add another color to the gradient. So behind this color, we're going to add another color, but we're going to come down to the slider here and set this transparency to 0. So you see now that as you set it to 0, the other rectangle begins to show. You play around with this till you're satisfied. We're trying to achieve something like this. So you just set this up in a way that once you are comfortable with it, you're comfortable with the gradient you have, and you can post that. So I'm okay with what I have now. This is fine. So once you've gotten here, congratulations. The next thing to do is to now set up the camera inside this box. So you come to the shape tool, select your rectangle. You add a rectangle inside. Don't be scared if you don't get it right, but you come to the right hand side panel. You set the width to 190. You set the height to 190. Once that is set, you would center this square, set the border radius to 50. You go down the right hand panel, you add a stroke, you come to stroke, click the plus. Once you've added the stroke, you set the stroke width to 15, and then you set the stroke color to white. You go to your fill, and in your fill, you click this minus to delete the fill. Now you have this. Once you've done this, we're just going to do the same thing, but now we're going to need to add a circle. So you come to the shape tool, in the drop down, select ellipse. With the ellipse selected, you draw your circle. If it's not perfect, no problem. You just come to the right hand side, it should be 90 by 90. You center the circle. With the circle centered, we want to come down here again, you add a stroke, set the radius, the width of the stroke to 15, and then the color of the stroke to white, and you delete the fill, and then you have a circle inside there. We're going to add another circle again. We select the shape tool, this time a tiny circle, come over, the width is 25, the height is 25. With that circle in position, we just change the fill of the circle to white. And there you go. You have something that looks like an Instagram logo. So with this in place, it's looking still kind of bland. So we want to add an effect, a shadow effect. So you come to your left hand side panel, you select rectangle 1, you scroll down on the right panel until you see effects, you click the plus sign to add an effect, you select the drop shadow. Now we need to edit the drop shadow, so you click on effect settings, set the blur to 50 and the y-axis to 25. Now with this, you have this logo looking very nice and neat with this kind of floating effect. So once you've done this, you've completed the assignment. Congratulations. You refer to the document for specifications, and also the color palette will be provided there. Thank you. All the best.